starting with Joe Biden. You know, Joey from Scranton who likes ice cream, Corvettes, Ray-Bans, and his family.
Welcome to this week's Wacky Moments of Leftist Extremism. Now, this may be one of the most memorable weeks ever, as it marks the week that the White House publicly issued a memo to its workers, you know, the media, to ramp up scrutiny on Republicans in order to better protect Joe Biden.
The White House in a statement saying this is extreme politics at its worst. They've also sent a memo to the media urging them to ramp up scrutiny of House Republicans.
ABC's Mary Bruce was so happy to get that memo. It was written by White House spokesperson Ian Sams, so the state media, PBS, immediately responds by putting Sams on TV.
61% also believed the actions were illegal. 37% of independents think the actions were unethical but not illegal. So how do Americans go about getting those concerns addressed?
I think that things like what you just said really show that there's a real premium that's put on the truth. I think it's incumbent upon the independent media, it's incumbent upon us to explain to the public the truth. And the truth is that the president was never in business with his family, and that these lies and false attacks that are coming from Republicans with no evidence.
Wow, I really hope the media got this no evidence memo from the White House this week.
Of course, they've launched this impeachment inquiry on Capitol Hill to determine if there's any link between Hunter Biden and President Biden's business dealings. So far, no evidence.
With thus far, little to no evidence.
There is no direct evidence.
There is no actual evidence.
Yeah, I mean, sure, if you ignore the speakerphone calls with Hunter's business partners, the multiple Joe Biden alias emails, those business visits to the White House, the flagged bank account transactions that were sent to the IRS, and those millions of dollars that suddenly appeared in Biden family bank accounts. I mean, who would think there's anything worthy of being investigated?
They're trying to gaslight you into believing a guy who was once mocked for being one of the poorest guys in the Senate hatched some sort of nefarious decades-long campaign to fatten the Biden family coffers without a single journalist noticing. I mean, how could we have missed it?
I don't know, maybe because you're not a journalist and you just might be a leftist propaganda apparatus.
They're starting with Joe Biden. You know, Joey from Scranton who likes ice cream, Corvettes, Ray-Bans, and his family.
I'm guessing Joey got the memo. The entire leftist media can't even be critical of Biden. On Sunday, Biden delivered some detailed information at a press conference in Vietnam.
But I tell you what, I don't know about you, but I'm going to go to bed.
His office quickly called for an end to the press conference and turned up the music while Biden kept speaking.
Thank you, everybody. This ends the press conference. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Network newscasts avoided mentioning all of this for some reason, but on PBS, they did air this.
On the mental acuity part, Nikki Haley's talked about giving a mental acuity test for presidents. I'm sure Biden would ace that test.
Yeah, I bet he would.
Talked about making sure that the third world, the Southern Hemisphere had access to change it, had access. It wasn't.
The excuses made for Biden were great this week. MSNBC gives us this wonderful theory as why Trump comes across more together than Sleepy Joe.
The advantage that Trump has is when you start off a little strange, it's harder to gauge that you've gotten stranger. I mean, we look at Biden, who has started off normal, and start saying, is he acting off? Trump started off, so it's harder for people to catch up with how off he's really gotten.
Yeah, the press is definitely on defense for poor Joe, and the excuses have become that stupid. I mean, are you concerned about inflation continuing to rise? Well, the media elite, they're concerned as well. The New York Times is concerned that Republicans might pounce on that issue to criticize Biden. I mean, love your inflation.
Amy, there are all sorts of economic wins in Bidenomics.
So many wins, like the report this week that the U.S. poverty is cranking up. More people on food stamps and a doubling of the child poverty rate. So CNN tweets this week. Yeah, enjoy your wealth and the poverty rate, America.
Inflation is not out of control anymore, and the unemployment number is really low.
So low, unless you include those seeking but unable to find full-time employment that pays above the poverty line, then, well, you know, unemployment has actually increased. But you just can't be critical of Joe, and don't even think about criticizing VP Harris. I mean, the news media has heard that even some Democrats think she's terrible. You know what that means? Racism.
Okay, go please.
I think some of the soft bigotry is showing in the progressives. I really do. I think when you look at the way they've come after this woman of color, right? Women always have to work harder than men. I don't have to tell you two that. But a woman of color with power, I think she's threatening.
Yes, her stunning intellect is so threatening.
You think you just fell out of a coconut tree? You exist in the context of all in which you live and what came before you.
I'm Eric Scheider reminding you that leftist media activism is really no laughing matter. Visit the MRC homepage, donate to help keep videos like this one coming. Visit MRCTV.org for the latest in videos, information, and entertainment. And like, share, and subscribe to these videos on the platforms that actually let you see us. We'll be back next week with another look at leftist media madness.